Hi, I'm Grace, and there's currently nothing on my face, like zilch, nada, nothing. And the reason for that is because I'm copying and I'm going to try and follow, an Alexandra Anele How to Look Gorge When You've Been Crying tutorial. So it's good for if you've been crying or if you're just not feeling good. And the first thing she says to do is take a serum, like any serum, oil, moisturizer. She used the Inky List one. I have just a little sample of the Drunk Elephant Behydra Intensive Hydration Serum. She says to like use it to kind of smooth out your eyelids and rub the puffiness out. Because if you've been crying, you get like fluid retention, some buildup there. Now, I haven't been crying, but I am on steroids, and that causes a lot of fluid retention. Way too much fluid retention. So I figured this tutorial would be good for anybody with a chronic illness or any sort of sickness that sometimes you have to go on steroids or side effects. Like just sometimes you get a puffy face when you're sick, and especially if you're on steroids. So she just massaged her eyes, and then she put a sheet mask on. I don't have a sheet mask, so I'm just using this serum all over my face. So while that sits in there, after soaks up, we're going to put in some moisturizer and just really work that into the dry areas. And then while that's sitting and soaking in, I will use the magic of editing to do my hair in 3 seconds flat. And I'm back. I know my hair's wet, but it takes forever to dry, and it's summertime in Canada, and that is one of the few times where you can have wet hair without freezing to death. So I'm just going to have wet hair for a little bit. So next she goes in with she uses a color corrector for dark circles. Even if you don't normally, when you are not feeling good, you get dark circles more intensely. So she mixed her her color corrector with the concealer because she was using a kind of liquidy color corrector. Now this one isn't too liquidy, but it also doesn't sit as well as this NYX Bear With Me concealer. This is like skincare concealer. So I'll mix them. Just put both on the back of my hand. Try to put more color corrector, but the concealer comes out a lot stronger. So let's see if that's okay color. And then color correct right underneath my eyes here. And then she brings it up into this area because this area will look kind of gray and hollow when you're not 100% up to par. So we're going to pack it in there as well. And this area of the nose can get a little bit red too, so we're going to color correct around there. Okay, then she uses a foundation that adds a bit of extra warmth because when you're not feeling good, sometimes you look a little pale, and I can definitely attest to that. I have Crohn's, and sometimes I get really pale. So sprays a little sponge with some setting spray. This is just the Bodyography Pro. I use it because it was a great deal for me. My mom won it from something and then gave it to me. Okay, so this one here is L'Oreal's Infallible in Rose Ivory. That rose color adds like a little bit of extra life to your face, which is excellent. I think they have, well, I'm almost positive they have rose in a few different levels, like dark, lighter. There should be, I think there's a lighter rose one and a darker rose one, and all of them have this kind of pinky peach that makes you look a little less pale, a little bit more alive for those days where you need a little extra something something. If you haven't seen Alexandra Anele on YouTube and you're into makeup, then what are you doing? She is pretty awesome. She uses a lot of art theory in her makeup, which is a really cool, unique take. But it's not completely unique, but it's cool to hear how she uses the art theory, and makeup is my favorite form of art to, or one of my favorite forms of art to copy. I'm not into painting and drawing, but I love to be creative. So using that little bit of art theory in makeup is really fun for me. Okay. So she goes in with a brightening concealer next. So right on the sides of the nose, kind of here, over here, a little bit here, a little bit on the nostrils, and then I think we'll add some over here and over here. Ooh. This is Rare Beauty 160C. I think it's the Liquid Touch Brightening Concealer. Then when you're patting this in, you want to be gentle so that you don't disturb the color corrector underneath there. Okay, so if you've been crying, you probably have veins coming through on your eyes, or if you're me on any day, you have veins coming through on your eyes. So she takes the same brightening concealer that she used just then, so whatever brightening concealer you're using, and pass it in on her eyes. Okay. Then she uses a bronzer before contour, because when you're sick, you don't want to kind of hollow out your face too much, or if you're not feeling good, you don't want to hollow out your face too much. You might have that already. I unfortunately have some puffiness going on from the prednisone, so steroids just like cause water, puffiness, all through here. It's lovely. And not just through here. So she picks them up on a brush. I'm going to use Happy Soul by Rare Beauty. So this is the Real Techniques 200 Expert Face Brush. So just pick some up on here and then brush onto the forehead, cheekbones, jawline. Don't really know why I'm going underneath my bangs. So don't think that's going to be visible once those are dry. Okay, so this is now contour that I'm going to go in with. Okay, technically this is a bronzer that I'm going to use as a contour. This is the closest thing I have to a contour. It is a gray shade. It's called Bright Side. Same Rare Beauty one. She puts a little bit, just a little bit, to kind of make those cheekbones have some more structure, a little bit under the jaw, and then she used a tiny bit under the top and bottom of her lip. So get a little smaller brush. This is that same Deluxe Crease brush. A little bit here, a little under the lip, and then just a tiny bit, she did, tiny bit right here and kind of on the tip there. All right. Next, for blush, she did this trick where she mixed foundation and blush. So we're going to do that. She used a really, really light shade. I really like the tone of this shade. This is Grace by Rare Beauty. Has this really nice berry tone, so I'm going to use that, even though it is like technically a little dark, but we're mixing foundation with it anyways, so it should be fine. So put some on the back of my hand and then just a dab. Mix that in there and then dab that right on the cheeks. Okay, and then she does the brows off camera because they're brows, so I will use, again, the magic of editing to do my brows. Not sure how smooth that was, but there's my brows on. All right, just push my hair out of my face. So next she goes in with e.l.f.'s Halo Glow setting powder. I use my e.l.f. brush here. Sorry, I had to pause to grab the setting powder. Gotta grab that. And just the tiniest amount there. Can kind of brush this. Use this to make sure there's no creases. And then just the tiniest amount because you don't want to look creepy. And then she uses it to set her eyes as well. Then she uses a concealer pen to cover any blemishes. I like my little blemishes, I'm going to leave them. Then she uses a highlighter on the tops of her cheeks and curves it around like that. Okay, I'm going to use the Essence Pure Nude highlighter because it's really nice, kind of natural highlighter. Yeah, I'll use the same brush. So she takes it in a C shape just up like this. Tops of cheeks and then over like that. Oh, an important point that she made was with the eyes. You want bright inner corners to open it up, and then you're going to push anything puffy back by using a more shadowy shadow color, like more gray or like slightly darker color. And then avoid warm tones if like crying or sickness makes you kind of feel, brings out that warmth in your skin and you're trying to kind of hide or diminish that because you don't want to look red. So I don't have any of the eye products that she used, but I do have the same tones in this Stone Cold Fox palette here. So the first thing that she does is she builds the crease she uses a cream pen and a grayish taupe, and she builds in the crease. So I have these colors here. I think that You Rock shade right over here is a nice grayish taupe, so let's go in with that. I'll just take my brush right here, the Precision Point blending brush, build it up in my crease, and then she kind of brings it down a little bit underneath her eye as well. So I'll take a smaller brush for under the eyes because I'm not incredibly skilled with that, so I'll just brush right here. She doesn't bring it into the inner corner because remember we want bright open in the inner corner, so just the outer kind of 2/3. Okay, next she takes kind of like a warmer, slightly warmer, a little bit more brown color. So let's see here. Maybe bold type, a little bit, just slightly warmer and slightly more brown. And then she uses that to push this outer area back more. That's that art theory coming in. Pushing it back using a darker color. She is much more skilled than I am with everything makeup and art, so it'll be interesting to see how this look turns out. She left this area white for now, so like there's that little gap there. We want to keep that gap there. Okay, let's clean this up just a little bit. I'm going to use my wider blending brush and just kind of buff everything. Blending covers a multitude of mistakes. So just really have at her with the blending. Okay, next she took a really pretty like white shade that almost had like a bit of kind of like a moony feeling to it, almost a bit of purple in it. I have this white shade here, Dreamful. I'm going to put that in the inner corner of my eye. I'll use just a flat brush here. I think she uses her finger. Now your finger can really pack it on. If you are following this tutorial though, because you're like me and immunocompromised, don't try and stay away from my fingers on my eyes. I mean, like, I do it happens, but I like to use clean brush because I find I'm not good at keeping my fingers clean when I'm doing my makeup, so just a little flat brush is good too. She built it into the middle where that space where the other shades didn't go, so I'm going to do that as well. These ColourPop shadows like really have great color payoff, especially for the price. I'll then kind of smooth those together with my blending brush, especially if your eyes get like, my eyes are there's a little bit of loose skin there, not gonna lie, so things can get kind of stuck in the creases, and just blending it out helps a lot. Oh, okay, now she said if your eyes look a little droopy, putting a bit of brown liner onto the outer edge, like just kind of straight out, will help kind of lift them a little bit without being too dramatic. So I am going to use Maybelline Lasting Drama, this little ink pot here in brown, and really creative coloring in there, but like very to the point, it's brown. And then just from the outer area here, and then just like straight out. I wasn't supposed to do a wing. I did a little bit of a wing. Sue me. I like wings. And then kind of just like buffs it out a little bit. Okay, then she goes in with a nude liner. I have this Essence Extreme Lasting in Silky Nude. Don't know how silky is a color, but it's a good feeling. And she puts it on just the outer, kind of the outer third of her eye, because if you do the whole thing, then you get emphasize that round eye effect, which is something I usually do because I think it looks cute, but more sultry, then skip that. This guy here, and then just pull it out underneath, right underneath there. Man, what she did, it made it look so easy. You know, when you're watching somebody else do something and then you try it and you're like, that looked so much easier than it actually was. My silky nude isn't silking enough to make it easy for me to pull this out right now. Okay. Okay, next she curls her lashes and then puts mascara on the top and bottom. I have this little It Cosmetics superhero one. I just got a free sample of that. I haven't tried it yet, so let's try that. Let's see how that one goes. This is supposed to have elastic stretch and be volumizing, so we will find out. It's a coat of this, and then she uses a lip liner in a color that isn't too warm. Let me go find a lip liner. Okay, so this is Nude Beige. It's kind of a rosy color. Just a Sephora lip liner to go. I like the idea of a small lip liner because you don't need them to last forever and easier to take with you if you're traveling. And she just goes in with a gloss. I know this is a little bit warm, but it's nice little lip oil, I guess. ColourPop's Luxe Lip Oil. When you pull it out, though, it's a lot more pink. That's a really nice feeling lip oil. And then she finishes it off with another coat of mascara. Never think to let my mascara dry before putting on another coat, but I can definitely see how that could make a difference there. Okay, so with wet hair, here's the finished look. Let me know how you think I did copying this look. If you look, hers is definitely more like the shimmer that she used in her corner there is a lot more purple, and then the other colors here are a lot more warm than the ones that I used. But her skin is also a lot more warm than mine. A lot more. Yeah, now you put it next to each other, you really see the difference there. That's a really warm or warm olive and then very cool toned version of a look. So I thought that was pretty fun to do. Let me, and yeah, I'll keep getting better at these. We hope. Oh, I think she pulled out her corner a little bit more here. Let's see, pull this out a bit more. This is an adorable cat. That's such a gorgeous cat. Wow. And yeah. So let me know if you try this as well and if you use slightly different tones to match your skin as well, like I did here. And let me know how it goes. Bye!